My name is Mike Johnston. I'm president and CEO of a studio called TheREDspace, based in Halifax, Nova Scotia. The studio is about 11 years old. As I mentioned, we kind of started as a company in the corporate e-learning space. So our background is very much on developing well-built, scalable, enterprise-quality software. So our kind of lead to market is the quality of the software that we build. We've then layered on graphic design, of course, animation, character design, background art, to build a studio that's first and foremost capable of engineering well-built games that connect into the kinds of back-ends that most of the large media brands that we work for require. So a lot of different content management systems, content delivery networks through CDNs like Akamai, who's a very valued partner for us. A lot of analytics engines, ad tracking capabilities. We have a lot of skill on complex backends, which allow us to then surface interesting content to the front end of the games that we build. A lot of them tend to be branded content for advertising and merchandising. Multiplayer mobile games. Games that leverage device capabilities on the mobile platforms. Again, because we have such a strong development background, we can kind of leverage cutting-edge technologies to build compelling games that are very well engineered. We're primarily in the casual and mobile and online space. We've approached the industry as an enterprise software developer. Our background is in corporate learning, e-learning, defense simulation, large sort of enterprise scale, rich media software. That's helped us build a portfolio with most of the large U.S. media brands. Nickelodeon and MTV are very large clients of ours. We've done work for most of the large media brands on their online portfolio. We've built a number of virtual worlds, a lot of casual online games, and are now very active in the mobile space, porting a lot of the sort of casual games online to the various mobile platforms for our clients. We were part of a project for Mattel for their American Girl doll franchise. We did engineering on their Interstar University virtual world, which has been very successful for them. Most recently on the mobile side, we've done the engineering to port a number of casino-style games for the Game Show Network to a mobile casino, which is launched on iOS and Android, which has been performing extremely well for GSN. As I often say, I think the pointy edge of our sword, really, when we're working with clients or building games ourselves, tends to be the quality of the engineering within. We've built out a large portfolio of reusable game engines that we can kind of combine and reskin for promotions for some of our large clients. We want to build games that connect well into the back end. Analytics, tracking, ad delivery tends to be the main driver of the line of business for most of our clients, to whom we're either selling games that we've developed ourselves or developing games that we've been commissioned to help with. So I think first and foremost, our clients look to us for games that are extremely well engineered, that are going to perform and scale well when they have success. We continue to develop relationships with new media brands. We are expanding our mobile capabilities, moving more into offshore markets as we develop more of our own original games. We're exploring relationships with new publishers and distributors that can help us get into Asia, which is a market we're not currently serving. As a company overall, we're also taking our game concepts and our capabilities into serious game development. We're now doing a project with a university in Canada to develop games for healthcare, for stroke rehabilitation, for victims of stroke and Parkinson's. We're also moving more into aerospace and defense for serious games for defense simulation. I would say probably 2/3 of our staff work locally in the Halifax region. Most of our staff tends to be from the Atlantic Canadian region. We have a number of people who sit and work from Toronto. We have a few folks overseas in London and a few in the U.S. Generally, excellent resource we find where we can. But the heart of the company is in Halifax. We've been pretty successful at attracting expats who've moved away from the region, who are keen to come home. I think word is getting out that there are a lot of good companies doing great work in the region, and that's attractive. That there are a lot of excellent folks who have left the region who are keen to come back. So we see a fairly good influx of people wanting to come back to Atlantic Canada. We recruit globally. We've processed work permits for a number of employees from a broad range of countries, from the Caribbean to Europe to Asia to the Middle East. And I think that trend is only going to continue. You know, the challenge is often you need people very quickly, and the immigration process takes time. But you know, as we've gotten bigger, we've been able to forecast need a little bit better, which has allowed us to recruit more broadly, to train more aggressively, and to find great people wherever we can. I think it's kind of a broad mix, actually. It's a healthy, thriving, growing community, based partly on the fact that we have a very lucrative digital media tax credit, which supports the industry. It helps us sort of build a base of resource. There's an excellent talent pool that we share amongst the studios. Professionally, there tends to be a healthy mix. There are companies like mine in the casual, online, and mobile space. There are studios doing console games for Connect. There are Unity professional services shops. There are still a number of animation studios that have moved into gaming. So there's a healthy pool of art talent in the region. It's a relatively small market. It's a relatively small province, but we tend to have a very healthy diversity of skills. You know, ranging from art to engineering to console to mobile to testing. We have some QA and usability companies in the region. I think we kind of have a good end-to-end mix as a kind of industry, and we just continue to sort of grow that. I still think that there's a huge move toward mobile. I think the ability to attract as broad an audience as possible with games that sell well, are easy to access, that have a low price point. Gaming is becoming a kind of way of life. I think as humans we respond well to that. Gaming works well in education. It works well in the workplace. I think I don't want to use the word gamification, but I think the notion of leveraging fun, engaging content to both entertain, educate, and sort of move business forward is only going to continue. I think as devices like some of the mobile tools become more pervasive in the workforce especially, we're going to see games that sort of cross the boundary between professional life and personal life. And I think that's only goodness for all of us who have been really busy serving the entertainment space, where there's a broad range of other industries that have budget, that have interests, that are starting to appreciate and embrace the power of what games can actually be. It's not just entertainment tools, but as kind of tools to move business forward.